bud. How's she going?
This week on iTunes, it's a double world premiere as the island's own Todd McLean collabs with Yukon bass Gurdeep Ponter on the ultimate cheer music, and Reisky gives us an electronic sneak peek. Plus, Baja royalty reigns over the continuation of Black History Month. Yous ready, PEI? Let's get her done! Hello, Prince Edward Island. I am your host, Adam Michael James, and you are listening to iTunes for the week of February 18th, 2024. That's right, this week is Islander Day, but let's be fair, on iTunes, Islander Day is every day. Well, every episode anyway. Each one packed wall to wall with music from PEI artists. Once again, I thank y'all for listening. Now, Islander Day, what is that all about? For those who may be new to PEI or just need a refresher, here goes. Known as Family Day, Heritage Day, or Louis Riel Day, depending on what other province we're talking about, Islander Day, or Fête des Insulaires, was brought about to jump on the bandwagon of the rest of Canada having a holiday in February. PEI marked its first Islander Day in 2009, but on the second Monday in February, and not the third like everywhere else, which caused a kerfuffle since our holiday didn't match up. In response to that, the following year, 2010, saw Islander Day as the third Monday in February, and we have been celebrating it on that day ever since. Got all that? To me, there's not much of a better way to mark Islander Day than with Gordon Belcher. He may still be considered a come from away, even though he's been here since 1978, but if you look up PEI in the dictionary, I bet you see a picture of his face. For Gordon's 2006 Call Up All the Neighbors CD, he offered up his rendition of a song originally by Saskatchewan country crooner Gary Fjellgard, though Gordon retooled it a bit to fit this island's narrative. The result is Islanders, from Gordon Belcher, chosen to commemorate Islander Day here on iTunes.
We are vagabond minstrels, seekers of fame. We have sailed round the world, and we have come back again. We have taken our bows, basked in the glory, and made our way home from the sea. Islanders, islanders, right to the pole. How can we wander so far from our home? With our true love beside us, we are kissed by the sea. Islanders, we'll always be. Like an ancient old fortress, she hangs in the mist. She's the fairest of homelands that's ever been kissed. She's the soul of a poet and the heart of a sailor, and she's calling for you and for me. Islanders, islanders, right to the pole. How can we wander so far from our home? With our true love beside us, we are kissed by the sea. Islanders, we'll always be. How sometimes the wind, like the wail of a banshee, a howling nor'easter, she'll pound at your door. But safe is the harbor, free is the anchor, I'll never go sailing no more. At least not too far from the shore. Islanders, islanders, right to the pole. How can we wander so far from our home? With our true love beside us, we are kissed by the sea. Islanders, we'll always be. Islanders, islanders, right to the pole. How can we wander so far from our home? With our true love beside us, we are kissed by the sea. Islanders, we'll always be. Oh, islanders, islanders, right to the pole. How can we wander so far from our home? With our true love beside us, we are kissed by the sea. Islanders, we'll always be. True islanders. wanderers we'll always be.
Everything in a house can change, the sink, the window panes. You can renovate almost everything, but you can't renovate this man. I ain't got walls, ain't got no house, there's no blueprint to read. Ain't got floors, ain't got no doors, you can't renovate me. We bought the place last winter, and we bought new furniture. We painted every inch, the walls and the trim. Then she started working on me again. Honey, I ain't got walls, ain't got no house, there's no blueprint to read. Ain't got floors, ain't got no doors, you can't renovate me. Then a couple of years went by, still something don't feel right. Pretty good feng shui, even got up a day. Then I started thinking that maybe it's me. So I started renovating me. I had to figure out what that means. I got a new haircut and I shaved my face. Still there's something really feeling wrong in this place. So I started renovating almost everything. Tore down the walls, put new walls in. Now I'm a very different man, and I have her to thank. If I'm a condo, then she flipped me and I made a little bang. I ain't got walls, ain't got no house, there's no blueprint to read. Ain't got floors, ain't got no doors, now I got some pearly white teeth.
The country stylings of Wood Andrews. That's You Can't Renovate Me from his album The Sound of Wood, which is so fresh, the paint on it isn't even dry yet. Wood may reject renovations, but he was born out of one. If he sounds familiar, it's only because, as Andrew Woods, he was the frontman for Boxer the Horse, who had albums out in 2010 and 2012. Wood, or Andrew, or whatever you want to call him, he'll respond to both, has surely undergone a different reinvention as the husband of Ontario songstress Basha Bulat, famous for playing the auto harp. Perhaps you can catch them both on stage, as they tend to tour together. Wood Andrews, Andrew Woods, certainly isn't the first artist to create under different monikers. Look at Prince. Never mind And the Revolution and the New Power Generation, he pitched up his voice to record his Camille, and you know he changed his name to a symbol. PEI's not even a stranger to these musical split personalities. Another example is Rick Sparks, who, plus the Enablers, released the folky goodness of Picture Yourself in a Riot last year, which is up for Contemporary Roots Album of the Year and Rock Recording of the Year at Music PEI Awards Week next month. But then there's Hazen Halls, possibly the more poetic side of Rick, who gave us the Our Fires Fade to Candles Volume 1 record in 2022. I don't know if Hazen will make a Volume 2, but I have heard that Rick and his Enablers are already working on something new. Rick Hazen, you getting the feeling some tracks are about to get played back to back? Let's kick it off with Island Prince Rick Sparks and the Enablers and The Life of Stars from the aforementioned Picture Yourself in a Riot disc. Don't have to picture it. I lived through the LA riots in 1992. True story. And Hazen Hall's doing a little mediating for this identity-bending
isletunes rock block.
Promises and a warm spring rain and things I left behind. I'll hold you up when heaven falls. Your prayers are out of time. My heart isn't worth the light that shines in the sky so true. If your eyes ever lose their sight of what I do for you, heaven knows how I loved you from the start. Heaven knows how I loved you from the start. Hands on hands, be still my restless heart. Stars, hands on hands, be still my restless heart. Hands on hands, as we pray to life of stars. rest will over time translate first loves and that night. Europe Stanley got high outside the movie theater, air as thin as a vein into the color yellow steeped in regret. Dawn has the untoward charge of mediating that absurd resolve between the sun and the moon. So does dusk neither really has the aplomb to meet in that impossible middle. Facing wall, was comes down to an outpouring of light from the road. However, it becomes infinitely diminished in every direction but one.
Two artists, one guy. Rick Sparks and the Enablers with 2023's The Life of Stars, and Hazen Halls with 2022's Mediating, rounding out an isletunes rock block. Coming up, Chuck and Albert keeping it cool, and Holding Court with Baja Royalty. Certainly we've all had it up to our masks with anything infectious, and let's be honest, it's not like COVID is over just because we want to pretend it is, you know? But you know what else is infectious? The music and style of Gurdeep Panter. He's a Sikh Canadian artist in the Yukon, and far from spreading viruses, he spreads motivation and optimism through his work. And if his smile doesn't bring one out in you, you'd better look for a pulse. But AMJ, you say, the Yukon doesn't have anything to do with PEI. It does when Todd McLean gets involved. Todd recently paired up with Gurdeep for a fun song about a triptych of traits we could all use more of: joy, hope, and positivity. After you hear this, make a note to catch the equally fun video on YouTube, but for now, it's audio awesomeness from Todd McLean and Gurdeep Panter with this
isletunes world premiere.
Find joy, hope, and positivity.
If you're down, if you're sad, here's the possibility. Find joy, hope, and positivity. If you're down, if you're sad, here's a possibility. Find joy, hope, and positivity.
Your nears and dears live far away. The best friend is also gone. Lost always in thoughts. You feel you are all alone. Your heart is heavy, heavy like gravity.
Find joy, hope, and positivity. If you're down, if you're sad, here's the possibility. Find joy, hope, and positivity.
things are difficult. You feel vulnerable and fearful.
It happens.
No time to breathe. You rush. Those pressures leave you tearful. You are drained by negativity.
Find joy, hope, and positivity. If you're down inside, here's a possibility. Find joy, hope, and positivity.
Your sweetheart will not return. You miss them profoundly. In dreams they appear. You cry, feel lonely. You lost zest and creativity.
Find joy, hope, and positivity. If you're down, if you're sad, here's a possibility. Find joy, hope, and positivity. If you're down, if you're sad, here's a possibility. Find joy, hope, and positivity. Find joy, hope, and positivity. Find joy, hope, and positivity.
It's okay to be sad and reflect, but at the end of the day, be sure to find your joy. Breathe and now smile.
Hey yo, this is the Island's own Hip Hop's heel, Adam Robbins, and you're listening to isletunes.
isletunes World Premiere.
Did I not promise you a double world premiere? Straight from the underground electronic scene of the island, bet you didn't know we had one, that's Reisky with Dreamcatcher. Reisky's not a newbie at this. Deeply rooted in rave culture and trance, he's been creating beats and doing the DJ thing, crafting mashups and megamixes. But this cut is extra special because Rye has let me preview it for you exclusively. It's from his upcoming album that is in the mastering stage and will be released later this year. Now don't you feel special? You should. I most certainly did. Thanks, Reisky. Totally different genres here, but these guys could put you in a trance with the high-spirited performances that thrilled island audiences. Energy was what Chuck and Albert were known for, so it's not surprising that in 2009 they put out an album called Energie. Don't know how they kept it cool bopping around stage the way they did, but Keep Your Cool is the track you're about to hear. Well, Chavirerai Pas is the proper French title. Here's C&A with one of the traditional Acadian songs they put their own spin on iTunes. Formidable!
Mardi, t'as déjà poché à mal de tête et puis tu traînes du lit. Ça va pas l'habiller en espérant pour vendre du
Mardi, le téléphone qui sonne assez stupide que tu déboules du lit et puis tu te casses un pied parce que t'as la jambe endormie.
Comprends pas tes chats, je suis pas petit Jésus ou gros Bouddha, ça s'arrête là, si tu veux ou même si tu veux pas. Chante l'alléluia, la fête c'est pas si loin que ça va donc.
Sors de la maison et lâche pas la patate mon côté.
Mercredi, tu te sens mourir en grippe, les grains, puis t'as pas de bonne mine. Là, de la cuisine, en mal, une bouchée d'aspirine.
Fais pas ça, mais tu jettes ta tête, pogne la cataracte. Si c'est pas ça le cas, t'es sûrement hypochondriaque.
Comprends pas tes chats, c'est pas petit Jésus ou gros Bouddha, ça se réglera si tu veux ou même si tu veux pas. Chante l'alléluia, la fin de c'est pas si loin que ça va donc.
Sors de la maison et lâche pas la patate mon côté.
Vendredi, ça va toujours comme un cheval qui tire par le canal ou un malfaisant qui chante toujours la morale.
La morale, c'est pas de la misère d'être misérable, c'est tout à fait normal. Si ça allait trop bien, tu finirais à l'hôpital.
Ça va du tout bien bon, ça lève des prescriptions, arrache ta faute, t'en as réglé un jour. Et lâche pas la patate mon gars.
Your smile is so bright. You're talking of politics, far left or right. I'm trying to listen, but try as I might. Your smile has me drifting away. I'm falling again. I know it's insane. Drawn like a moth to the flame. I'm helpless to fight. I'm drawn to the light. Forgotten about all the pain. It sparkles so bright, the wine so inviting, the laughter so light. I'm dazzled, I'm smitten, I'm feeling just right. You're asking me if I can stay. I'm falling again, I know it's insane. Drawn like a moth to the flame. I'm helpless to fight, I'm drawn to the light. Forgotten about all the pain. So subtle, the body so smooth. The smell of warm leather, I'm into the groove. The speed's like a tonic, it's starting to move. I want it to take me away. I'm falling again, I know it's insane. Drawn like a moth to the flame. I'm helpless to fight, I'm drawn to the light. Forgotten about all the pain. The morning sun bursts through my window so bright. I'm trying to remember what happened last night. I think it was awesome, but try as I might, the details have all slipped away. I'm falling again, I know it's insane. Drawn like a moth to the flame. I'm helpless to fight, I'm drawn to the light. Forgotten about all the pain. I'm falling again, I know it's insane. Drawn like a moth to the flame. I'm helpless to fight, I'm drawn to the light. Forgotten about all the pain. Forgotten about all the pain.
Maybe not all of us have been the flame, but every one of us has been the moth. Bryson Guptill buzzing around this episode of Altunes with Moth to the Flame from his 2015 album Rise Little Mermaid. Perhaps Bryson is better known as an environmental advocate and for his part in creating the Island Walk, a 700-kilometer across PEI hike inspired by his experience walking the famous Camino de Santiago, as well as Portugal's lesser-known Camino Histórico. I bet the Island Walk is a beautiful one, though I'd have to work up to it. I have enough trouble walking 7 feet to my refrigerator. I also bet in 700 kilometers you could listen to both Bryson's album and every episode of Altunes made so far. There's a thought. Hey, you guys remember the Altunes This Week in PEI History segment? It's back! February 15th, 2010. PEI celebrated its first Islander Day on its current third Monday of February, despite launching on the second Monday of February the previous year. February 23, 2015, Wade McLaughlin became the 32nd Premier of the island, after having been president of UPEI from 1999 to 2001. McLaughlin also wrote a biography of Alex B. Campbell, who himself served as Premier from 1966 to 1978. To some, singing may be harder than rapping, but when you're kicking rhymes to a frenetic beat, well, it ain't that easy. Cavi knows what's up, and he's still getting props for his 2022 Energy Thief album. It started by hitting number 2 on the Canadian hip-hop rap iTunes chart, and is currently up for an ECMA award for Rap Hip-Hop Recording of the Year in May. Here's an example of Cavi's fast rhymes. Now, I couldn't tell you what a 50 cal flow is, but I can tell you that's the title of this cut. I can also tell you that there's an F in flow, and there's lots of F's in this song, which is why we're requirous, my word, of this
Altunes F-bomb alert!
Yeah. pound, fuck around with the 50 cal flow. Drop that ass all down to the flow. Pack in a bow, only want one, but I'm tapping them both. Bow down, but to get a pound, fuck around with the 50 cal flow. Drop that ass all down to the flow. Pack in a bow, only want one, but I'm tapping them both. Half of the coast, but I'm packing a boat. Tapping them both with a bullseye. Feel so fine when I run up in the booth. Steez of a gentleman, I'm off in the pool. Fuck what you thinking, me, I finna bounce. I've been around with the boys in my town. Flex about the ball at the festival. Sex and alcohol, we the best to call. Goddamn, we the man from the Badland. Pack bands, Van Dam with the backhand from the back man. Yeah, nah, motherfucker better get a CAT scan now. So, I'm yelling Geronimo, pulling up shots. Do it so natural, feeling like wow. To see all the screen, now they count on me high like jalapeno. Bow down, but to get a pound, fuck around with the 50 cal flow. Drop that ass all down to the flow. Pack in a bow, only want one, but I'm tapping them both. Bow down, but to get a pound, fuck around with the 50 cal flow. Drop that ass all down to the flow. Pack in a bow, only want one, but I'm tapping them both. Bow down, but to get a pound, fuck around with the 50 cal flow. Drop that ass all down to the flow. Pack in a bow, only want one, but I'm tapping them both. Bow down, but to get a pound, fuck around with the 50 cal flow. Drop that ass all down to the flow. Pack in a bow, only want one, but I'm tapping them both. Get a batch up, hit finna bad wood, finna rack up for living like a bum. Cinnamon and rum, any minute I'm a palm. We don't fuck with you people. Mia Khalifa, Selena, or Bieber. Second, I think you should bring up Selena, but nobody else. Don't care if you Jesus. Fuck out my house, I don't fuck with you neither. Bow down, but to get a pound, fuck around with the 50 cal flow. Drop that ass all down to the flow. Pack in a bow, only want one, but I'm tapping them both. Bow down, but to get a pound, fuck around with the 50 cal flow. Drop that ass all down to the flow. Pack in a bow, only want one, but I'm tapping them both. Talk that shit when I park that where. Spark that shit, light up the napalm with a face card. Been a bad boy, said I would've made a comeback. Funk with the work rag, gold on my neck, fair. Fuck that, I'ma talk that with a buck at. Boy, you basic, face it. I'm way too smooth like latex. No safe sex, what the fuck your bitch, but I better fall play with the paychecks. Wasted, bull die for the bacon, sign that paper, got it. Celebrity status, I got it. A label ain't nothing but problems. I swear that I've been at the bottom. This 50 cal flow is the reason I'm ballin'. Bow down, but to get a pound, fuck around with the 50 cal flow. Drop that ass all down to the flow. Pack in a bow, only want one, but I'm tapping them both. Bow down, but to get a pound, fuck around with the 50 cal flow. Drop that ass all down to the flow. Pack in a bow, only want one, but I'm tapping them both. Bow down, but to get a pound, fuck around with the 50 cal flow. Drop that ass all down to the flow. Pack in a bow, only want one, but I'm tapping them both. Bow down, but to get a pound, fuck around with the 50 cal flow. Drop that ass all down to the flow. Pack in a bow, only want one, but I'm tapping them both.
Dude, that jam has so much cussing I think I now have to wash my ears out with soap. But you notice, I'm not complaining. Cavi flowing with 50 cal flow on all tunes. I swear, actually I do swear, that this island has artists who swear in their songs and artists who don't. And I can also guarantee you winter ain't stopping them from swearing or not swearing. Here's a sample of the fucking gigs happening on PEI this week. Cavi, that's catching. Today, Sunday, February 18th, Fiddler's Sons are at King's Playhouse in Georgetown, and Nathan Wiley is at the Trailside Music Hall. Wednesday, February 21st, it's the Jack Pine Folk Club with Mike Ross, Cam McDuffie, Shane Pendergast, and poet Sadie McCarney at the Poorhouse. Friday, February 23rd, More Soul is at the Trailside, and it's the Beaconsfield Winter Concert Series with Kelly Mooney at, of course, the Beaconsfield. Saturday, February 24th, Logan Richard is at Copper Bottom Brewing in Montague, and Songs for a Winter's Night celebrating the music of Gordon Lightfoot with Shane Pendergast and Nudie is at the Scott McCauley Performing Arts Center in Summerside. Looking into next week, February 29th, it's what else? Island Jazz Leap Year Show and other oddities at Baba's Lounge. March 1st, it's Holland College SOPA Winter Concert Series at the Florence Simmons Performance Hall. March 2nd, it's Winter Jazz 2024 with Mike Ross at the Poorhouse, and also March 2nd, Gizmo is at the Trailside. Now here in the iTunes studios, otherwise known as my basement, continuing with the attempt to lift up Black History Month. It's not every day one gets to sit down with royalty, but for me, today is that day. My guest is the queen of the island hip-hop scene with no less than, if I've counted right, 25 singles under her crown. She's a visual artist as well and brings as much color to the canvas as she does to her songs. She's Baja royalty, coming us today from Brampton, Ontario, and I humbly bow to you for sitting down with me over Zoom. Welcome.
Thank you. I'm ready to cry. What an introduction.
Well, you deserve it. Why don't we start by having you tell us a little more about yourself and what brought you to Prince Edward Island from the Bahamas?
For sure. In high school, I always had a passion for visual arts and music. I was in many choirs and also different programs outside of high school, extracurricular activities. And at the age of 17, I won an award from the Bahamas government for my visual artwork. And while I was in high school, I went to a college fair and there was this gentleman there from Holland College. And I asked him, "Do you have a performing arts program?" And he was like, we do. And I auditioned and I got in. And when I was 18, I studied performing arts at School of Performing Arts, SOPA, Holland College. And that was my introduction to Prince Edward Island. That was my introduction to the music scenery. I met a lot of artists from all over the world. And yeah, that was my introduction to PEI.
That's quite the introduction. Now, even though the Bahamas is an island nation, you've ultimately traded one island for another, and gone from a place with a mostly Black population to a place with a mostly white population. What has that experience been like for you?
The biggest thing that I've experienced was the cultural difference. For example, I noticed when I moved to PEI, people were a bit more calm, like a lot more slower moving and gentle on the tongue, less aggressive, I should say.
That would be true.
Yes, there was a much older population, and I noticed people were a lot sweeter. I guess it's probably the sun being hot all year round, 24/7, that the aggression builds up. I don't know. Let's blame it on the temperature. The PEI is definitely chilled and laid back.
Now, how about your experience as a Black artist on PEI? Have you found it to be a welcoming one, or has it left something to be desired?
Good question. Really good question. I guess for me, it was easier to find a community. Being Black, it was easier for me to find a community that was similar to me, because at the time when I started doing music, it was so very little of us that we all knew each other. Like we all knew each other. Like we literally had a circle. It was like a circle. It's like 5-6 years ago. It's like a circle. So mind you, it has grown over the years. We have gotten new friends and work with a lot of new different artists that come on the scene. And some of us, they've traveled, they've gone to different provinces. But yeah, and I met a lot of great people, great cultures, some Asian, some European. But yeah, being Black, I've found my people, put it that way.
Good. I'm glad to hear that. I'm really glad to hear that. Now, let's turn to your music specifically now. What is your songwriting process like? Your lyrics do tend to focus a lot on empowerment. Is that a conscious choice?
Conscious and unconscious. A lot of times when I feel a vibe, it usually comes from a place of sadness or a place of growth or a place of evolution. Like I feel the need to write right now, but it's heavily on emotion. I will say I'm a very emotional writer. Whenever I feel something overpowering that, instead of going to the gym, I'd probably grab a pen and paper and just write it out. So I guess you could say lyrically, that's where it comes from, a place of not necessarily hardship, but deep emotion, very, very deep emotion.
You have enough songs at this point to fill 2 proper albums.
Seriously?
Seriously, I counted. It's like, I think it's 25, 26. So have you ever thought of recording a full album, or are you satisfied with releasing singles?
Actually, I do want to record an album, but the thing is, with recording an album, I don't want to be the one to mix and master it.
Fair.
Yes. As you can tell, most of the music that I have out now, I've produced, mixed, and mastered myself. When it comes to an album work, because I want it to be where one track leads into the other one, basically a storytelling album, a little bit theatrical, like how I went, like Sopa, how we did a little bit theatrics. That's what I'm feeling for an album, but I don't want to be the one to produce it. That's it.
Do you have anything new coming in 24?
Yes, I do. Social media wise, musically wise, everything wise. My music has evolved. My sound, my voice has changed a bit. It's gotten deeper since the last song I posted. Maturity and of course age, experience. So my sound is a little bit more mature. I'm just working on being visual, being more active, and of course dropping new music. And yeah.
Can't wait to hear that new music and how this evolution is worked into it. Your catalog is largely made up of solo outings, which is awesome. But who would you like to work with that you haven't worked with yet?
Mainstream or locally?
Both. Why not? Well, let's start with local and we'll work into mainstream.
Locally that I have not working with yet. Julia's really good.
Julia Robichaux?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, she's awesome.
Yeah, she's really good.
We
went to school together.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, her pop genre is very nice. I think she would definitely have a hand on the theatrics as she studied it as well. She was a year behind me. I feel like she would be a really, really, really good local artist to work with.
She would be.
Internationally, I know it's not possible, but it would have been Lady Gaga. Really, she's a legend.
I believe it. One never knows.
This might be a stretch, but Florence and the Machine, oh my God.
That would be cool.
She's definitely got her hands on theatrics.
That would definitely be cool.
Check it out.
Yeah. So I hope y'all are listening. Work with this lady here. You're going to work with royalty. Now, I usually play DJ on this show because that's what I do. But I thought I would turn the virtual turntable over to you. Which song of yours would you like to play for this podcast today?
Today I'm feeling the mood of Leave It There. It's a very subtle song. Okay. A little sweet, a little sad, but just right for this cold weather.
You have been listening to musical monarch Baja Royalty, and I am proud to have been a part of her court here. Thank you so much for taking the time for this chat, especially since you've been busy in Brampton. This island looks forward to having you back real soon.
Of course, and I'm looking forward to being home.
Yeah, I bet. And now on iTunes, Leave It There by Baja Royalty.
Take it to the hillside and leave it there. Take it to the seaside and leave it there. Everybody knows that life ain't fair. Take it far away and heavy, my cup is full and problems tall. Wanted serenity, couldn't find peace, not at all. I could not see, so I asked you to show me. Then I looked down and realized it was below me. Never more, never mind, out of sight and out of mind. So many negative and losses that I can find. Your time is overstayed. Your game is overplayed. When your bags are filled with problems and your bags are filled with pain, just take it to the hillside and leave it there. Take it to the seaside and leave it there. Everybody knows that life ain't fair. Take it far away and leave. Just take it to the hillside and leave it there.
Yes, you have just been granted an audience with royalty. Baja royalty, that is. That's her 2022 track, Leave It There. Just one of the many melodious jewels in her crown. And there is where we're going to have to leave it because we've come to the end of another episode of iTunes. There's one more Sunday in Black History Month, and that means another interview elevating a black artist on PEI. Next week, I'll introduce you to Jorby. And if you haven't heard of him, I'm going to fix that. iTunes represents with both Facebook and Instagram accounts where, aside from promoting the hell out of the show, I promote the artists I play by posting links to where you can buy their music. So hit one of those platforms, punch in iTunes, and then paraphrase Sally Field by liking me, you're really liking me. Yeah, I know most of you born after 1985 aren't going to get that. My show, my rules. Comedian Tanya Nicole kicked off this episode by delivering to us an island catchphrase. If you'd like to hear your voice likewise starting an iTunes installment, record yourself doing an Islanderism and send it to amj@iletunes.ca or leave it on a voicemail at 902-807-4250. This is also how I can receive comments on the show or suggestions on what artists you think I should play. I'm especially open to hearing about vintage artists, 80s, 70s, 60s. Keep going. Did you know that, at least for now, I am shelling out myself to get these episodes produced? You can help support these efforts by subscribing on Patreon, where I post exclusive expanded video interviews with the music makers you only hear here on the podcast. Did I mention it's all island-only content? I just posted the prototype up there, finally. What am I asking for this support and island goodness? Just $5 a month. That's the price of 3 liters of gas for 30 whole days of access to these vids. Hit patreon.com/iTunes and help a guy podcast. I appreciate every one of you who shares my iTunes posts or posts about the show on your own. Keep telling folks about the only podcast that plays nothing but music from PEI artists. And of course, to my fans, thank you. And keep listening. Musical contribution to the iTunes theme by Kayla McCauley and John Hashem. Show concept by Rocky O'Neill. I'm Adam Michael James, and I am out of here. At least until 1 week from now, when I'll bestow upon you another set of songs sure to make you say, I had no idea so many different kinds of music was made on PEI. That's my mandate. And soon, to coincide with Music PEI Awards Week, a special episode in which I'll virtually needle drop some nominees. You're not going to want to miss that. Enjoy your Islander Day, be good, and if you can't be good at it. See you next week.